Whew, we've already started drinking for our drunk AMA. How are you, my darling friends? Piggy here because unsurprisingly, Kitty is peeing, and I deeply apologize for not being on time, but naturally we left it until the very last minute to actually get to our hotel room and get set up and everything. So of course there were technical difficulties, which, is fine. That's all fine. We're fine here. How are you? Okay, that was a Star Wars deep cut. This woman just
What I missed?
This bitch comes sprinting
Don't
out.
worry, I flushed.
She
with
did
the door
flush.
open.
Yeah,
Hi everyone.
we classy bitches.
I'm so classy.
It's true, we are.
Where's my beer? You got me one.
Oh,
right?
I did. Here, hold
Hold on.
this. Hold this. This is your
You guys,
beer.
we've had so many technology issues,
So many
and none of them are interesting to you.
They
You know
are
what is
all
interesting to you? Whatever questions you're gonna ask us.
which are questions about
They
the
sure are
animorphs.
questions, all right.
They are
Guys,
about the
if I don't have any questions about the animorphs, I am going to wreak such havoc upon all of you. I am here, I'm queer, I'm ready to get married on the ocean. I want to talk about animorphs, so let's fucking go.
Let's talk about the animorphs. There she is.
Oh, this is good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Yeah, I'm the non-technical bitch, and occasionally I get things figured out.
No, I was referring to the beer.
Oh,
which
fuck
did
you.
get me.
Oh, I also did pick your beer, so okay, here we go. All right, so
Question number 1. This is a question I'm making up in my head. It's not actually a question we've gotten. Are you guys really friends? Do you guys even really like each other?
no, see what happened was there was like a Korean music producer who looked for like a bad girl and a nerdy girl. And
Wait, which?
shh, shh. And then he put us together, and he's like, "You're the new K-pop duo."
Am I the bad girl?
The next question
I
is...
really want to be, and so I pride myself on being a nerd, but being a nerd is almost basic. I really want to be a bad girl. Can't you see I'm wearing a hat indoors? That's pretty bad, yo. Bad to the bone.
To the bone.
Ooh,
To the bone.
not too bad.
Ooh, gross.
I love all creatures great and small,
all
but I
creatures
am a
Oh, hold on.
bad bitch. Oh, do I have fluff?
You have a little fluff that was stuck to your hat.
A little fluff.
I got you.
You know, I got these
got
kind of elf ears going right now because
It's very Galadriel.
my hair's
I love it. It's so
too
cute.
thin. We were discussing the thick lustrousness of your hair, and I'm like,
Sorry,
Well,
listen, it's genetic and completely
I have
unattainable.
47 strands of hair, and I'm working like hell to hold on to them.
Oh, and you can't see, but behind the camera is our lovely and talented producer, Ducky.
Yes!
Who truly has the most lustrous hair. Guys, we are with Ducky for the first time.
I wish you guys could see her. She's 7 feet tall.
She's stunning.
The first thing she did upon greeting us, she hugged us, and then she picked us up and just physically ripped us in half.
It's true. I've never felt more like a woman.
I really felt like, wow, I'm ready to give pithy answers to all sorts of questions now.
Speaking of which, the first question.
The first
please,
question.
Ducky.
Give us the first question.
It's already in your text.
Oh, wait.
It's in our
yes.
text. Hold on.
Here.
Don't worry.
You say that like
I've got
it's
got
obvious
all
that we
the
should
answers.
know what this is.
All right, anonymous. Okay, so a coward.
A coward. A
But
coward
a coward
asks.
that I still probably love.
Yeah.
We'll see what they're
That's true.
saying.
Go ahead.
But anonymous says, "Hello, beloved bitches." Okay,
That's
they're not a coward. I take that back.
We
We
love
love you. Okay. How do you cope with the anticipation of job news? I'm waiting to find out if I got into the PhD program of my dreams, and before that, to be invited to the recruitment weekend at said program. The invitation could come any day and is making me extremely unhealthily obsessed with checking my email. How do I put the anticipation down?
Down. I have the perfect answer for this. And it comes from my theater kid days. Oh
my God, she's gonna start singing Rent or some shit.
Rent? No, I don't know how many days are in a year or whatever.
Could be thousands.
Could be thousands of days, thousands of minutes. No, I'd do West Side Story. The sharks, the sharks, the sharks, the sharks.
Okay, no, stop that. Okay, anticipation. I'm anticipating your answer.
My
to this
answer, which is
question.
brilliant.
Tell
Okay,
them.
so back in my theater kid days,
Uh-huh.
I would walk out of an audition in my high school auditorium, and I say to myself, "That was a really fun experience. It's too bad I didn't get it." And that way, like, I wasn't disappointed. And like, it was always like I'd see the sheet, the sign up sheet, and if I had any part. If I had chorus girl number 3, I was still pleasantly surprised because I had told myself that I didn't get the part. So I think when you are going through anticipation that is driving you fucking insane, just tell yourself, I didn't get it. And that just gives you the excuse to to not worry about it anymore, to put it out of your mind, because you didn't get it. You move on to the next thing.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's very good advice. As soon as you said theater kid shit, I was too busy making fun of you. But yes, I immediately was like, oh, just thinking about when that casting list went up, and it was like wildfire that went around. Yes, you are the wiser of the twain. So I completely agree, and I would even say, to a further extent, like if you've ever like given a book that you really loved to someone and said like, read this. You'll love it. It's so good. It's amazing. This is my favorite book ever. You're going to die when you read it. It's so good. And then they're like, it was interesting. Okay, so the problem there wasn't the book. The problem was how you sold it to yourself and to this person.
You got to be like,
it.
Here's a book. You might like it.
You might like it. I don't know. IDK.
It's a book.
IDK, bro. You might like this. I totally agree that, like, tell yourself that you have already not gotten it, but that the cool part was that you were considered. And just don't, I think it's always better to, like, promise the moon, land among the stars.
Land among the stars.
So tell yourself that your goal here was to be able to interview at this level.
Yeah.
And the fact that you got there is amazing. And actually, that's not just a lie that you tell yourself. It is amazing that you've been interviewing at this level for jobs that are this and opportunities that are this interesting to you. So
yeah. The important thing is we are proud of you.
Yes.
We are. Your mommies are proud of you. Or your aunties.
Yeah, I ain't nobody's mom. I'm a cool mom. I'm not like other moms.
I'm not like the other moms. We're a cool mom. All right, next question.
All right, hold on. Next question. All right,
keep them coming, Ducky.
Okay, another anonymous. You guys.
Start putting your names on these things.
Use your names.
Yeah.
Use your names, you cowards. Okay.
And also, these were questions that were sent in before the AMA. But you can, there's like a little chat function. Oh, Jordan Carrier says hi.
Hi, Jordan. Okay. Anonymous says, so I woke up this morning and one of my roommates cleaned up the kitchen and then spilled stuff all over the floor intentionally and threatened to throw everything away. Smiley face.
Passive aggression.
I really wish that I was underselling the brevity, specificity, and illogical nature of this, but I am loving it.
Okay, so this reminds me of one of my favorite stories of weaponized incompetence.
Which sounds like is maybe what's going on here.
Yes.
Hopefully.
And it's basically this woman who is tired of her husband saying, I don't know how to clean the kitchen. So she's like, oh, okay, I'll show you. And she made him stand there while she scrubbed the kitchen floor to ceiling. And then she said, now you know how to do it. And he said, oh, okay, thanks. And then she took a bottle of chocolate syrup and she sprayed it absolutely everywhere. And then she handed him the sponge. So...
what urban legend? Okay, no, but I do love this.
And then everyone clapped.
And then everyone clapped, and Marie and Todd gave an Attack on Titan salute. Yes.
Yeah. No, I think that this roommate is acting in an irrational way, and I think it's definitely because there is a lot of pent-up anger about something. And okay, no,
my fear with roommates is always if you just get a real bad one. And guys, sometimes that happens. We've had a pretty bad one.
Yeah, we were forged. Our friendship, our bond was created
by a really bad
roommate.
Who left dirty dishes all over our mouse-filled apartment building.
So bad.
But there's a difference between a bad roommate and a scary roommate.
Yeah, this
I
is
I
creepy.
I might categorize someone who is doing something so illogical as cleaning up a messy kitchen, but then dumping additional messes around. I would definitely worry that person might be always be very, very cautious if you're in the category of a scary roommate, in which case there's no moral high ground. Like, fully retreat.
Get a lock on your bedroom door.
Yeah, don't try to fight fire with that
no.
kind of fire, because
No.
the kind of fire you have is like a matchstick, and the kind of fire they might have
Is napalm.
yeah, like, no, don't take any undue risks. But that's really, so if my first impulse is lightly fear for my life and safety, the second one would be like, could you try having a conversation with this person where you say, hey, I noticed that you cleaned the kitchen.
I noticed.
I also noticed that there was shit all over the floor.
And then you threatened to throw everything away.
Do you want to talk to me about that? Like, just make it an open invitation. Some people, unfortunately, I think a lot of people, especially in their like teens, 20s, maybe into early 30s, they only know the conflict resolution styles that have been modeled for them.
Mm-hmm.
And if they have passive aggressive parents, I had a high school boyfriend whose mother would tell him that it was time to wake up by vacuuming the strip of carpeting that was outside his bedroom door. And gosh darn it all, like, that is what some people are accustomed to. So if this sort of like passive aggressive messaging is what they're used to, then okay, maybe give them an open forum to hear it out. Otherwise, lock your doors. I don't like this. I hate this.
Listen, you can get a locking doorknob at any Ace Hardware, Lowe's, Home Depot, and they're really easy to install. Ooh. Jordan has...
Oh, yeah, Jordan, can you ask us your animal-specific question / did you?
Do you recommend any good sci-fi books? Was that books / TV shows, Ducky?
So, other than animorphs? Other than
Is there
Animorphs.
anything other than Animorphs?
Animorphs is kind of the end-all be-all for books.
It's just Animorphs.
We
Yeah.
have not improved the medium at all.
No, just go reread Animorphs.
Um,
Yeah. Actually, no. I am a huge sci-fi fan.
Yeah.
And I make a distinction between science fiction and fantasy. I'm actually I got pretty tired of fantasy a number of years ago, and I'm very hesitant on what fantasy books I read.
Yeah.
But if we're talking science fiction and it's not Animorphs, I highly recommend Ancillary Justice. It's the book that my husband and I, he loved it too, call Pronouns in Space. But it's the start of a trilogy.
I assume pronounced pronouns
in space. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
So Pronouns in Space, Ancillary Justice by Anne Leckie, is about this empire in space in a galaxy far, far away, where gender does not exist, so they use feminine pronouns for everyone, no matter like if they're described as having a beard or breasts in the book, like you have to guess like maybe what their gender identity would be outside of a society. Yeah. But the main character is a sentient spaceship who used to have her sentience in many automaton soldiers or little shuttles in the main spaceship, and like most of her has died except for one body, so she's like figuring out how to live her life and get revenge while being severely handicapped in that way.
I think everyone should play Mass Effect.
Oh, Mass Effect.
Everyone should play Mass Effect.
Mass Effect.
They
or
literally
grasshoppers in space.
They literally started the planning for that series by having a bunch of science fiction writers sit down and say on a whiteboard, all right, so what are the tropes y'all like? Let's just put them in.
Space Marines.
This is the one for which famously, I believe, we have discussed, you can design like sexy aliens, quote unquote.
Oh,
and
yeah.
girls are like,
I want the one that
that's
looks
not
like
him.
the one that looks like a gross monster. I want that one.
Give me the
that
strange praying mantis people. That's the one I want.
I want to fuck a monster.
Mass Effect, play Mass Effect. Also,
fuck a
I believe
monster.
they did a graphic novel adaptation.
Oh,
If
I didn't
video
know
games
that.
ain't your thing.
Yeah, that's lovely.
I would also say Gideon the Ninth. I think I've plugged Gideon the Ninth before.
No spoilers because I have it on my Kindle, but I haven't read it yet.
Okay, so Gideon the Ninth, the tagline for the first Gideon the Ninth book is lesbian necromancers
Thank you, content.
explore a haunted gothic castle in space.
In space.
And that is 100% accurate. That is just a plot summary of what's in Gideon the Ninth. It's very... it's lighthearted yet serious. It's very Tumblr. It's very funny. It's very dry. It's very smart. But it is telling a really interesting story with really difficult characters, which I think is a lot of fun, and great sci-fi writing and thinking. So please, if you're into sci-fi, just play Mass Effect, smoke a little weed, play Mass Effect, read Gideon the Ninth, and then whatever the hell you said.
Ancillary Justice.
Ancillary Justice.
Ooh, we have a question from Claudia.
How many seagulls would you have to find in your house before you started getting suspicious that someone was putting them in there?
One seagull.
I can sort of...
I live in Colorado.
Okay, so I can sort of answer this with definitive
As
number.
the person who lives within spitting distance of the ocean.
It's 2.
Yeah. Oh.
So, my partner and my little brother, the 3 of us, were all getting ready to go to a cabin trip. And as we were packing up the car, my husband comes aside and he says, there's a pigeon in our yard and it's just walking around. And we are kind of far from a city center where I would expect to see pigeons. And I'm like, that's very strange. So I go outside. Sure enough, there is a lovely, like, city looking like a gray, sort of iridescent, purpley green looking pigeon who's just walking around our front yard.
It's the pigeon's yard now.
And I'm like, I've never seen pigeons here. I'm just gonna walk up to it. I walked up to this pigeon and I put my hands out and it did not move. And I brought my hands together to pick it up.
And now you have rabies.
And the pigeon just was like, hey, how's it going? We named her Valentine. Okay, so what we learned is there is a major pigeon racing circuit.
Oh my God.
That goes
You
from a
kidnapped
town
homing pigeon.
from a town near us to Cape Cod, and which is like quite a long race. So this particular pigeon, I could tell from handling her that she was a little on the thin side.
Aw.
So what had
did she
happened
get
was she got tired. She got really tired. She got super duper tired.
Baby.
And she just needed to like calm down and rest for a little bit. So we were leaving for vacation. Like now. We were packing to leave now. But she had a band on her leg. So we looked at the band and it gave us the Pigeon Club.
Jesus.
And I kept Googling and Googling. Guys, never stop Googling until you find the vice president of a pigeon club who will pick up a phone from an unknown number and so that I can say, hi, I know you don't know me, but I have a pigeon. And I think you know who it belongs to. So we added 2 hours onto our trip to drive down Cape Cod to drop this pigeon off because she was too weak. She'd gotten a little bit turned around. And she couldn't find her way back, and she'd lost a little bit too much weight to continue the race. So she was just sitting there like, please bring me corn. So the answer is 2. Because when I found just one, I was like, this is unusual, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it.
This is not a
The
prank.
second one is where I would begin to understand that I was subject to external human influences.
Whimsical influences.
I'm so glad to share this amazing personal finance knowledge with all of you.
Cheers.
Oh.
Next question.
Okay, I have more.
That pigeon figured out how to get a chauffeured ride back. Yeah, Claudia, you're right. That pigeon,
that
that pigeon was like, take me home.
That pigeon was like, they see me rolling. They are hating. And she was right.
All right, what do we got?
Okay. Hello, bitch. Singular.
Whoa.
Hateful.
Which bitch is this directed at?
Hello, bitch. Can you share roughly how your asset allocation looks like? I'm very curious.
Ooh.
I love the asset allocation.
Ooh, let's allocate some assets.
Okay, so I am. I'll go first.
Yeah, you go first.
I'm over leveraged in real estate because I own my home, and I have completely paid for my home. I have no more mortgage anymore. So basically, in my area, the cost of living is very high. So that means I've made a really, really big investment in real estate.
Guys, make sure you're reading
specifically
the chat.
the real estate where I live. Which I think we've talked a lot about, like the idea that, like, is it an investment or is it a roof over your home? And the answer is both.
Yeah. You've got to live somewhere.
Yeah, you need to live somewhere, so if you can own that place outright and maybe it will grow over time, that would be ideal. If not, well, you still need to live somewhere. So I don't get the, like, finance people who are like, just live inside of the bed of a Ford F-150 until you contract a horrible disease from all the leaded gasoline in the air.
To be fair, van life is valid, and if that's what you personally want,
hashtag. I need to hashtag van life.
Hashtag van life. Hashtag valid. It is valid, but it's not for everyone, and I don't think that we, like, those of us who want to pursue van life should be judging
the van life.
Les van lifers. Les lifers des vans.
The main thing I know about Romance languages is that they do not believe in consonants, especially French. Only vowels. Only vowels, and occasionally like a
yes.
Okay, so.
What?
So.
French word for bird.
Croissant.
Oiseau.
Croissant. Croissant.
Croissant.
A croissant.
Vowels.
Croissant. Croissant. A bird croissant.
Croissant. A bird croissant.
Let me tell you, we live in New England, or we, at one point, both of us lived in New England. You no longer. And the number of people who come up, like, being like, hey, kid, how's it going? Can I get a croissant? It's like, what? Why is that the only word?
Yes, brown eyes and hair. Ducky is here too. Ducky is sitting across from us, looking majestic and beautiful.
Looking defeated, exhausted by us.
Looking frustrated all day long.
In the arms of the angels, Ducky. Okay, asset allocation. So for me, I'm about 50% in real estate. Real estate being my house. About 40% of that is in the market, and in that it is a mix of, it's all like mutual and index funds, but I do try to mix whether I'm doing domestic, international, large cap. Can I get a large cap? Can I get a small cap? So I do try to mix that up. That is about 40% of my budget of my asset allocation, and then about 10% is like cash and miscellaneous. Right now I have a higher amount of cash. They're just fucking laughing at me while I'm trying to answer your question.
We're laughing at the chat. We're laughing at the chat.
About 10% is cash right now. I have more cash than usual because we are thinking about adding a bathroom to our home. We could afford our home because it's a 1-bathroom home. That's the only reason why we won the bidding war on it. Because I was like, I'll pee in front of him. Also, I'll poop in front of him.
Also, it was 2015. Very different times.
And also, my partner got laid off. So that means we have a slightly higher amount of cash than usual because he's getting both unemployment insurance payouts as well as severance. Money to not work. Sign me up for Severance.
Yeah.
Severance Snape is my favorite.
Severance Snape is my favorite Harry Potter character. Yeah.
Okay, what were you laughing about? Is it funny?
Oh, okay. So, two things. Somebody in the chat has said this is the Beauty and the Bitches AMA, which is true. Ducky being the beauty, obviously.
Yeah.
And then somebody else said they can't see Julia or Ducky's.
But they can't.
They can't see Ducky's reflection, so she's a confirmed vampire. Can you like wave or something?
Yeah, can you
lift
do
your arm up. She's real.
That's the smallest hand, but I did see. Okay, what's your asset allocation?
My asset.
What is the asset allocation here in the land of financial Bringerton?
Oh, financial Bridgerton.
Financial Bringerton.
Well, Sir Lord Dukington, my asset allocation. I am also highly leveraged in real estate right now. But
oh my God, we sound so legit. We're highly leveraged.
No,
we did not want to pay mortgage payments anymore. We did not want to pay rent. So we bought our houses,
well,
and now we have no more money.
No, so I'm over leveraged in real estate for a slightly different reason, which is that Bear and I just got what's called a HELOC or a home equity line of credit.
Sounds
because
really fancy.
Yeah, so his cousin is applying to PhD programs. What to do with an HSA? Oh, okay.
Okay, we can do that.
We can do that. So my husband's cousin is applying to PhD programs in our city, and rent is extremely expensive. So we have always wanted to finish our basement and add a second bathroom. So we're just we took out some money from our home equity to do that major construction project, and she's gonna move in and pay rent at about a third of the market rate. And that way that'll pay for the project after it's done. But that is like a big chunk of change.
You guys heard it here first. If you are a family member of this one,
you can live with me.
Say my budget for a beautiful 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, newly renovated space is $125 a month, and she'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah, that's pretty great.
That's like the real key to wealth. I don't want to hear about privilege anymore.
No, it's
unless
wealthy
it's
family
the privilege
members.
of being your relative.
Yeah, it's like I used to be like, man, I wish I had rich relatives, and now I'm the rich relative.
Right.
Like my younger cousin has just finished staying with us for spring break, and my husband's cousin is gonna move in with us, and I like being the rich relative.
It's
that
really
my
cool. My baby brother has lived with us on and
Yeah.
off for the last
Yeah.
several years.
That's pretty fucking great.
And it's great. Guys, I cannot recommend enough. Just if
be-
you don't have rich relatives,
be the rich
be your
relative.
own rich relatives.
Yeah.
All right, it's gonna take a little bit, but holy shit, it feels great.
It's really great.
It's
pretty great.
And you can absolutely guiltlessly be like, would you mind possibly taking the trash out this weekend?
And they'll fall all over themselves because if you're like, oh, you didn't take the trash out, I'm going to raise your rent. Just kidding. I would never fucking do that. Anyway, so that is one small portion of my allocation. I also have probably about 5 to 10% is in small businesses through our sponsor,
Yeah.
Mainvest, and also, as frequent readers know, my investment in a small community brewery in my neighborhood. And then the rest is in stocks and bonds, and I'm about 70% stocks, 30% bonds, which are
Stocks.
bonds. Transition very quickly to a mean relative in a Jane Austen novel. Yes, we did, Claudia.
You know,
Thank you.
that's that is our privilege. Speaking of privilege, that's ours.
That's ours.
in that a synonym for a right.
Yes.
Which is we have a right to
We
be
have
like,
a right.
whomst art thou courting?
Whomst?
Froggy going a courting?
Whomst daren't thou think thou is?
I do declare.
No, that's more. I do declare. That's
no.
Foghorn Leghorn.
We're going real far south.
Have either of us read Austen? Enough to know that it is not for me.
Yeah. I think I was thinking of Aunt March right away.
Oh, and like as
Who's
in
like-
Little Women.
Yes.
Yeah,
Who's
yeah.
like, what's
Little
your
Women
deal?
counts as Jane Austen.
You're
but better.
real queer little kid. I don't want you to inherit my estate. Just kidding. It was a test. You can inherit it. It's okay.
Oh, can we be Aunt March? Can we just grow up to be Aunt March?
Absolutely, we can.
I just want to have some
Spinster
young thing,
who's like,
read me books.
this is etiquette. You will do this.
Do the
and if you don't, you have a built-in thing to complain about till you're dead. How amazing is that?
That's pretty great.
I have to keep updating what I complain about. And I just want something fixed, you know. Guys,
what's your complaint?
My asset allocation for complaining about stuff. Like right now, I have to be all like, why did they make it so that I can't charge my phone and listen to something on my headphones, my wired headphones at the same time?
And they're like, well, you need to get these AirPods
and that's gonna be
don't fit in your ears
soon.
and like fall out when you like.
I have ADHD. Do you know how many AirPods I could run through in my lifetime? 45,000 of them. Yeah. So, no, I really need like one or two fixed things because I can't like keep changing with the times. Yeah, absolutely not. No.
And my current complaint is just that I was an American on an airplane today. And, insert complaint about noisy children and people kicking the back of my seat here. Very boring. Next question!
Okay, all right. But I do just want to say that I sat next to a man who was offered a first-class upgrade.
God, this is so
and he turned it down. And the stewardess came back a few minutes later and said, "Are you sure?" And he doubled down and said, "No, I'm fine where I am." No one this plane took off and landed with no one in that first class seat. And I joking, not joking, was like, if he doesn't want it, I don't mind. I know, it's insane, right? I was like, if he doesn't want it, I mean, I guess I'll take it. You don't have to twist my arm. And the stewardess was like,
what an asshole.
I was like, oh my God. I was joking, not joking.
They were like, not you, like, sky peasants.
They were like, you're wearing a baseball cap indoors, ma'am. Be gone.
Ma'am, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, next question.
All right, next question.
Although we did get one in the chat.
Wait, what was it?
It was about HSAs.
Oh, about HSAs? Oh, okay. So.
Wait. What was the question?
I just toss money on it and invest
I don't think
it.
I was
Is it actually
pumped.
something people withdraw from? What
okay.
to do with an HSA?
Okay,
yeah.
So HSAs.
Health savings account.
Yes. So this is if you have a high deductible insurance plan.
High deductible.
Bad insurance plan, which strategically might be a good choice.
Oh, thank you for the flight attendant.
Talk to the flight attendants.
Beta. Yeah, that's great.
Okay, so I was trying to be like super, super, super nice and just like project. I am the kind of selfless,
I deserve to be in first class.
Empathetic person who deserves to be in first class. And I cannot tell you how little this stewardess was like, absolutely not you.
Not you.
I was shut down. Okay, so HSAs. If you have, so basically, usually when you start a new job in America, you're going to have a health insurance given to you through your job, and you might have several choices, maybe only like 2, maybe like 5, it depends. But if you choose a high deductible, meaning like, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get sick, or I'm pretty sure I'm not going to need a lot of intensive medical services. I don't have diabetes. I don't have ongoing physical therapy needs. Like I don't.
Or it's more like I'm broke and I'm willing to risk. I'm like gonna try and play it safe. I'm willing to risk that a huge accident won't happen.
Absolutely. So if you're in there, you may be in like a high deductible insurance plan where they're like, okay, if something happens, you'd have to pay a lot. But otherwise, your monthly payment's going to be really, really low because you seem pretty sure that, like, no, I'd rather die than go to the emergency room. Which, how hard kicking and screaming would someone have to put you on an ambulance in this fucking country?
Oh my God.
I would be like, all my blood out on the sidewalk, and I'd be like, no, I'll walk.
I'd be like, I'll walk.
I have $1 million to my name at this point in my life after working for years and years.
I'll be like, no, just
the hospital would be like,
my lift is 4 minutes away.
Give me all of it. And I know that about them, so never get into an ambulance if I was conscious. It's so fucking
to be
sad
fair,
and dark.
When I
yeah. Okay, so If you have the option for an HSA, basically it means that you can set money aside. And I would say an HSA is kind of one of those things that only rich people know about.
Yeah, I would say so. It's not common knowledge, but I mean, it's kind of an investment account.
So you can put money in, and this isn't always going to be the case, right?
Yeah.
It's just the case right now. Right now, you can put money in without paying taxes. And it will sit there, and you can invest it, and that money will accrue, and it will also not earn taxes. And if you take it out before the age of, I think it's 65, to say like, oh, I have my appendix out, and you know, I need a $750 copay here, and I need a bunch of physical therapy copays here, and like you can deduct those eligible expenses. But if you have none by the time you are at retirement age, that money then comes out. And it's still tax-free. It is absolutely like a rich people loophole to growing money, getting money tax-free, and growing it and taking it out again tax-free.
Because the idea is you're supposed to spend it on health expenses.
Yeah.
But if you live a
But
blessed
who could
life,
still be alive in America at this point?
I know, right? Like, who's not already dying of emphysema? But if you manage to not like spend it on some horrific American health expense, that's just like an extra tax-free retirement account.
And if you do have, you know, a catastrophic expense, you can draw upon it. In fact, I use my HSA to buy all sorts of things. Like if I need to go to the store and buy Tylenol, tampons, for who knows what reason. This is very ambiguous. It could be for any reason. But say I needed those two things. Those are both considered an eligible deduction for an HSA. So I can whip out my shiny HSA card because it doesn't live in my regular wallet and it gets used very infrequently. So I whip out that shiny old card and I give that to them, and basically I get to use money before taxes. It's a tax incentivized account.
Yes.
In order to pay for eligible medical expenses, which include things like if you need Neosporin.
Yeah.
If you need Sensodyne.
If you can buy it at a CVS, it can probably be purchased with an HSA. Or if you buy it in a hospital.
Yeah.
Hospital gift shop, not
And the nice thing about an HSA is that it's yours. It's attached to you. It's not like a 401k where you have to kind of go through some hoops to change the administrator. It's attached to your name, your social security number, so it's much easier to administer. And once you have, I think it's over $1,000. I'm pretty sure it's over $1,000. Once you have $1,000 in there, give or take, might be a little off on the number. I'm on number 4. But once you have enough, you can just invest the money in there, and all of the growth that it has, instead of paying capital gains tax, like a poor rich person
like
might.
a poor rich
person would. You can do like a rich person would, where you just don't pay any capital gains on that.
Have we complained about capitalism yet? We have not.
I love capitalism. Where's the camera on this?
It's there.
Oh, it's
right
here.
there.
I love capitalism.
I mean, that's not.
It just doesn't have any flaws.
It
Name
doesn't have
one.
any flaws.
Name
flaws.
one.
0 flaws.
I may have
0.
this kind of big zit right here.
Thank
you, but I want to be real. When shit starts getting real.
We're okay. So people, what's the next question?
There's more of the text.
Oh, okay. Next question.
Okay. Next question.
Make it a good one.
All right. Oh. Number 1. Okay. Numbers. Here we go. Number 1. I don't want a house. I don't want to be tied to one place. And I'm so sure I'll buy a lemon and then have this shitty place I'm stuck with that I can't leave. However, landlords keep fucking me over, and I realize that a mortgage is less, and then I'd get the mortgage tax credit besides. It's not what it used to be. Do I have to get a house in order to be financially stable in America?
No.
I kind of have a rant about this. Can I go? I'll make it short.
Wait, okay. Make it short. Yes.
No. I do think that landlords serve a vital purpose in our economy. Not everyone feels this way. But I remember talking to a friend of mine who had pretty extreme anxiety. And she said, I owned a house once, never again. It gave me so much, it made my anxiety so much worse
Poor
to
thing.
think every time there was a heavy rain, she was going down to the basement to make sure that the basement stayed dry. Every time there was a windstorm, she was going out and walking the property and making sure branches weren't coming down. Owning a home, financially, maybe it was a good choice for her, but it did not give her the flexibility and the freedom that she needed.
Poor baby.
She really would rather, and ended up paying a premium to rent, because she was like, I love just being able to call someone and say the plumbing's out and it's now someone else's problem. So I do think that landlords serve a vital purpose. I think not everyone wants to be a homeowner. Not everyone is in a situation where they're well suited to being a homeowner. And can you build wealth without investing in a home? Absolutely. In fact, if you would like to siphon wealth away from yourself, owning a home is a great way to do that.
It's a great way to do it.
It's true that real estate
Watch
grew.
the Tom Hanks classic, The Money Pit.
Like real estate, the housing market was very robust from like 2019 to 2021, where it really like whoosh, like a ski slope as navigated by Bugs Bunny, like really up on a dense curve there. So it may seem like that's the only path to wealth, but absolutely not. No, there are a lot of the people that we know who are wealthy enough to kind of be in the fired space. They are actually renters, or they do like sort of a geo arbitrage thing where they move around frequently to like house sit, pet sit, make a little bit of money, and basically live rent free. So absolutely.
Or they live on sailboats.
If you
Hi, Michelle.
If you do not want to own a home, don't buy a home. No, don't buy one just because you think it's gonna make you more money. That is the kind of the antithesis of what I think most of our personal finance advice is. Don't do things that don't make you happy.
Yeah. I mean, we could say, like, we did X and it made us really happy and it really helped our financial goals and it made us really rich. And if you hear about that and your response is to start hissing like a rabid raccoon, then don't do the thing.
Yeah, don't do
something
the thing.
Do something that makes you happy. And like I love owning a home because I like that I can just dig up the backyard and build chicken coops and beehives and garden beds. And I can, turn the basement into like a canning.
You can adapt it.
I can adapt it to me.
Every
I love
part
it.
of that house.
Yeah, and I don't have to ask
suit
anyone's
you.
permission to like paint a wall.
Guess what? You could just get a permissive landlord.
You could.
Who doesn't give a shit.
Exactly.
Because they own 20 properties and they're like, yeah,
exactly.
I don't give a
So, but like, what makes me happy is owning a place and not having to ask for permission to do anything. Yeah. But I stopped in the middle of a sentence. A canning reserve. I can the vegetables that I grow. Shut up. I freeze and can.
Can't.
I can. I preserve.
Nailed it.
I preserve food in cans and jars,
Roasted.
and it's delicious. But yeah, no, you don't have to own a home if you don't want to own a home. Like,
You don't have to
own a home.
You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do unless you do.
Yeah.
You have to pay your taxes. Sorry.
You have to pay your taxes.
No one wants to. We don't want to.
We don't want to.
No, not at all. No. We pay a premium for someone else to do that for us.
Oh my God! Which, by the way, shout out to Brian the tax guy.
Thank you.
Thank
you,
you.
Patreon donors who give us the money
to pay Brian the tax
to
guy.
send someone else.
Guys,
our tax
Brian is
information.
the most boring vanilla person I've ever met. He's perfect. He's exactly what you want in a tax guy. I told him, okay, so like this is our LLC, and then the business name is Bitches Get Riches, and he like just doesn't even blink. He's like the sloths in the DMV in Zootopia. He's just like, okay, and moving on to the next item.
Love it.
And just like, and he sends us a bill, and we're like, oh my God, it's magically all done.
Presumably, this makes him happy.
Yes.
He must like it.
Presumably,
Don't do
he
anything that
specializes
you
in small
don't want
business
to do
accounting.
unless it's taxes, and then do those.
And then
I'm
hire,
sorry.
and then just be Brian.
You know, when I was a child, my mother would bring us
fake as a child?
to Dave and Buster's and let the kids run loose at the arcade while
no.
she's at the table doing the taxes.
Oh my God.
You know, my mom is not.
Oh no.
I have a difficult relationship with my mother. However, what a sacrifice.
What a fucking sacrifice.
She could have been playing that excellent Jurassic Park kind of Jeep game where you get to shoot lots of dinosaurs. Ooh, I'm good at shooting things when they're dinosaurs. Anyway, I'm gonna
Next question.
I would like to ask you a question.
Ask me.
Mer pancake.
Mer pancake.
I think which is like a mermaid,
But a pancake.
but a pancake, which goals. Mer pancake said, "Bitches, I need vibes.
Ooh, vibes.
I got fired at the end of October."
No.
And I've been unemployed since. I keep getting interviews, then ghosted or no interview at all. I'm out of money and my family is suffering now because of something I'm doing wrong. I don't know what's happening or what more to do.
Okay, so
oh my God,
of all,
we can
baby,
help.
First of all, you're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
This is not your fault. People
Not
get
on
fired all
you.
the time. I got fired. Me. And I'm the one who goes on the internet telling people how to be good at their careers. It happens to everyone. And,
Yeah, as
you,
I said, my partner just got laid off, and he had just finished getting like a prestigious in-house certification, as well as winning a company award for having the best ideas about how to generate more revenue.
Yeah.
So like it's
so
not
it's not
you. It's
Don't
not
worry.
you.
But like your family's suffering, and it sounds like you're taking that on yourself, and that's a lot of guilt for one person. I'm really sorry that you're dealing with that. But so you requested vibes from us. So we will give you vibes. Are you ready for vibes?
I'm here.
We bestow upon you. Take this seriously.
What part of this was
The vibes of the
one
bitches.
part that wasn't serious.
May you be positively vibed. May you succeed in all you do. And may you be
My eyes are glowing white, all white.
financially successful. Mer Pancake, you're going to do great because we believe in you.
Yes. Okay, so very quickly, tips for if you are not getting a lot of follow-ups on your initial interviews or sending out resumes. So nowadays, the way that most companies will screen for a new candidate is with AI, because they are getting, to be fair to them, they're getting
So many applications.
hundreds of applications from random people who absolutely do not meet any part of the qualifications of the
So
job.
they run resumes and cover letters through an AI.
So they pass it through.
They just pass it, and it looks for keywords.
Yes, keywords, key phrases, and most of them have a weight of 1 point, and then other ones have a weight of like half a point, where it's like, this is vital, this is nice to have. So whenever you're sending out a resume, I hate to say this because it's so much unpaid labor, but if you're serious about like you need to get a job and a good job quickly, what I would suggest doing is whatever they say in their job description,
detail-oriented person, a team player, a
put the
creative
phrase
thinker.
a detailed oriented person in your resume.
Yeah.
Find
Find the keywords from the job description, lift them wholesale, and put them into your resume and cover letter and whatever. If they have one of those applications where they make you like re-enter all the fucking data into an online like a web form,
my soul left my
which
body.
I fucking hate. Just copy and paste those keywords. Just put it in.
If they say we want someone with leadership experience, and in your resume you say I have direct management experience.
Nope, say leadership experience.
You need to say leadership experience so that if they are using an AI to screen out those initial ones, you're doing that. If you're getting to the point, that's like, I think especially helpful to get your foot in the door, and then hopefully your charming personality takes over once you actually start to interview.
Yeah.
If you're starting to interview and then you're not getting anything back, I think one of two things is happening. One of them is totally outside of your control, which is that
Body odor.
one of them is outside of your control, which is that you may be competing for a job where they already know who they want to hire. Stop that. I just washed this hair. Get out of here. They may have already selected someone, the boss's nephew or someone who they is in a lower tier and they want to give a promotion to, and it's part of their like their raison d'etre that they are going to look at 3 people before they promote once. They may have already picked out someone for the role, in which case they are simply wasting your time, and that really, 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 really sucks, but
Exactly.
that may be what's happening. The second thing, if you are interviewing and then you are not hearing back ever again, if you're consistently getting to the first interview and then not hearing back, then something's going on.
Yeah.
And it's hopefully something that's within your control. So it may be your interpersonal style. It may be your answers are like, oh my God. So I mentioned that my partner just got laid off. And I listened while I was like feeding the dogs one morning. I could hear him in the next room taking a call. And they said, so what do you want in a role? Like, do you want to work for a large company?
And
do you want to work for a small company? He proceeded to answer like 7 minutes long, like just a rambling thing of like, okay, so in the past, I worked with companies who are like this, and it was interesting in this way, but it was also challenging in this way. And it was,
honey, no.
And I wrote him afterwards. I was like, I love you so much. My darling sweet boy, may I give you a bulleted list of things that you say, I would like this. I need this. I prefer. I feel I am best managed by a manager whose management philosophy is in line with this. And I gave him a bulleted list of like a dozen things to say where it's like, I want to be part of an established team and not a startup. I am a family man and I am not interested in working myself to death outside of work hours.
Yeah,
so
he's
I
got
really
dogs
value
to put through college.
a high degree of respect for work-life balance. I'm a high performer on the individual level, and if someone sets appropriate challenges for me, I will work really hard to meet them. So I work best with a manager who embraces like a high trust, high performing, enabling management style. And also I need this amount of money and fully remote work. So I gave him like a list of things. So if you are consistently getting to this point where you are not getting callbacks after the first interview, that means your resume is good, but something is off in your interview style.
Yeah.
The first thing that comes to mind is asking a friend. Maybe you can record yourself doing it and then show it to a friend and say like, where'd I go wrong? Like, evaluate me. Also, libraries. Librarians often are trained to work on exactly this, and almost every town and city in America has a library with librarians who are happy to help you with this, or have people on staff who they can recommend to kind of listen to this stuff. That what came to mind immediately.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree, and I think you like one of the best recommendations you just made. I'm complimenting you. Was recording yourself, but you should also watch it.
Yeah,
and like I know it's like so cringy to watch yourself. Like that's why these AMAs are really difficult for us because we can like see ourselves on the camera. And we know.
Oh, we don't watch these.
We don't watch them later, but like in the process,
we're deleting this.
I'm looking at my face. No, but like watch yourself, and like aside from the cringiness of just like watching yourself,
let the people see my imperfections. I'm 36. My God.
Jesus.
Mon Dieu. Keep going.
Mon Dieu. Anyway, the point is, critique yourself. Next question.
Okay, hold on. I have more.
We have more.
We asked.
Are there any in the chat right now?
Ducky supplied.
The chat is lit, by the way. You guys are coming up with some.
That's what
funny
children
shit.
say nowadays, right?
Oh,
lit?
do the children say lit?
I think they
right?
say lit.
Do they say lit?
I think they dab.
Do they dab?
I think children are just constantly
no, they
dabbing.
don't say. They just go like this.
No.
Is it like a?
Well, and they're also doing the toothpick, the toothpaste.
All I know is they sometimes say, oh, crrr.
Oh, also they say, on fleek.
Oh, no. They stopped saying on fleek in like 2012.
No.
Are they doing it again?
They love on fleek. Children love on fleek. If anyone tells you at any point in your life, children do not say on fleek, you send them a URL to this. Flossing, thank you. You coming through.
Flossing, thank you.
I was like some kind of dental hygiene dance. It's a Fortnite thing.
I had a 9-year-old try to teach me how to floss, And despite coming from a spicy Southern Mediterranean culture, I cannot dance to save my life. So this 9-year-old was just like, it's just like this. It's like the floss and whatever. And my husband, unbeknownst to me, was like around the corner of the hallway, like recording the whole thing. So he just has like pure blackmail fodder on his phone of a 9-year-old teaching me to floss and me not being able to learn
You know,
it.
9-year-olds are teaching you how to floss. When I was 9 years old, dentists were trying to teach me how to floss. And I was like, nope.
There it is.
Nope. I'm not doing that.
A
It
kid
sucks.
flossing to a slow hymn at church camp. Oh my god. Okay, anything that happens at church camp is
And
automatically
he will
either
raise
you up on eagle's wings.
Okay.
Bear you on.
The next question asker
No,
screams
but church camp. Hold on.
into
church
the
camp.
void.
The
Okay.
Church camp is entirely either nightmare fodder or like
Or
stand-up
the best
fodder.
thing
Or the funniest thing I've ever
happened to
seen.
you
Okay,
in your
go
life.
ahead.
Okay. Update to the roommate thing. We tried to initiate a combo, and they basically went, "Fuck you, lol," and left us to clean it up because it was everywhere.
Jesus.
I don't. All right.
You need to get out of
Stop.
the league.
Whatever qualifications you think that we have, I want you to look deep in our eyes. Try to look at the camera. It's over
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Okay. Look at us. Do we look like we are qualified to negotiate with that level of terrorism?
Do we look like we're qualified to negotiate with a sales clerk at Kohl's? Because the answer is no.
As a very aggressive person who feels invested in my own immortality, what I would say in this situation is awesome. So it sounds like no one has any issues that they want to raise, and everyone is really happy with the status quo. So we're going to keep that bad boy going. Thanks so much for that. That
They do go hard
is
at Kohl's.
probably what I would say.
Yeah.
And
if they don't want to communicate
that
like
is
a fucking adult, like,
that is like a, you need to get on my level.
yeah. Yeah,
You
if
need
don't
to get
wanna-
on my roommate
If you
level.
don't want to communicate like a fucking adult, like, then you don't need to be treated like an adult.
If you
frankly.
don't want to stick with the if it's yellow, let it mellow paradigm,
If it's brown, flush it down.
if you would like people to flush their pee, people who live with you,
I don't know what you're talking
who
about.
are
I don't know what she's referring to.
beautiful, blessed hippies
I don't know what she's
who
referring
want to
I
save the
have no
water
memory
and
of this.
don't want to flush their pee
I don't.
down the wee wee.
I don't understand.
That's
This
a
is not
conversation you must
This is
have.
not a conflict that has ever arisen in my experience as a roommate because I am a perfect roommate.
I
And
refuse
I
to
wouldn't
elaborate
do
any more on this
anything.
roommate situation.
I would never do
It
anything
sounds
to
like-
offend or harm a roommate of mine.
I'm gonna quote.
Especially if that roommate was a water wasting heathen who didn't believe in conserving toilet
I
water.
drib out 3 dribbles of piss. That's a technical measurement, a unit of
dribbles.
measurement.
3
dribbles.
tablespoons.
I dribble out 3 dribbles and then I just flush the toilet 50, 100 times.
Meanwhile, I'm like,
I'm not qualified to help you when you are living with someone who is on the edge. They are on the edge and you need to back all the way down. If you are living with someone who is capital O, capital T, capital T, capital E, on the full fucking edge, you need to get the fuck out of there.
listen, you need to call the FBI for their hostage negotiation team, and then you need to get the fuck out of there. Okay,
Yeah.
next question.
Oh, great bitches.
Oh, great bitches.
This asked
Thank
by-
you. Finally, someone addresses us
Asked
by our
by
true
little
title.
ball of feminist rage, which stop stealing our brand.
Yeah, what the hell?
Oh, great bitches. Please explain this timely and topical issue to us, your baffled followers. I keep seeing ads for the Experian Boost.
I just saw that in the chat. No, she can't spell. She can't fucking spell.
There's 2 T's in everything. I'm staying at the Marriott. Guess how many T's are in it? Like 100.
You're not staying at the Marriott.
I'm not staying at the Marriott. I lied to you and told you we were staying at the Marriott, and you dropped your shit off at the Marriott.
Jesus.
It's really funny.
Okay, so no, I have to tell the story really
Okay,
quick.
all right,
I don't
quickly.
want you guys. I don't want you guys thinking.
I'm giving an Experian boost to your Marriott story.
I don't want you guys thinking that we are perfect and flawless in every way. Okay, so last year when we were at this conference, we stayed at Hotel A, and
Which was a Marriott.
yes,
It was a Marriott.
Yes, and when we were preparing for this conference, Ducky very kindly sent us a whole notes app note with the address and name of the hotel and telephone numbers and schedule and stuff.
Ring, 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 ring. Did we read that?
No! Hell no!
We were like, thank you so much for putting that
Oh my
together.
gosh, thank you so much for putting
We're
that.
gonna forge
Didn't bother.
confidently forward in life like we didn't need it.
I get to the airport and I'm like, oh yeah, where am I going? So I text the group thread and I'm like, hey guys, what hotel are we staying at? And this asshole,
hold
this
on.
bitch,
I'm taking over the story
this
now.
whore.
I confidently, I am like, hey dog, I know where we're staying. It's the same place we stayed last year, which was that Marriott. You dummy. I can't believe you wouldn't read Ducky's notes like that.
And I was like, oh no, don't tell her. I told her. I was just about to look it up.
Ducky, I am the one with an executive function disorder, but this hoe cannot read nothing.
And I was like, oh,
I'm feeling
just opening
so
the
good
note.
about myself.
I was not opening the note. So I got myself in a car and I headed off and I got it to this hotel and Ducky had been like, I checked in, you just need to give them your name and you'll get your key card. We're in room 729. And I was like, okay. So I checked in and I was just like, yeah, I'm picking up a key from room 729. And they were like, ma'am, this hotel is 4 floors high. They were like, we don't have a room 729. And I was like, okay. I think I'm at the wrong hotel. I lied. I was like, I gave them my last name. I gave them her last name. I gave them Ducky's last name. And she's like, ma'am,
all right, stop.
You're not staying here.
All right, hold on. I need,
Anyway, we are now at the correct hotel.
I think that's where it's at. Have people figured this out yet?
No, Melissa Joan Hart, they have not.
I'm gonna explain it all, okay? I look great. Guys, you can get this hat. This amazing hat.
Yeah, you can get this.
You can get it at our Etsy.
Oh yeah, at our Etsy shop.
And if you're too cheap to do a root smudge, you can do it pretty good at home.
An article on 20. Ooh, wait.
Oh,
did you see that chat? Hold on.
Okay.
We're gonna do this question, then we're gonna do the 22-year-old. Okay,
all right.
Great. Back on topic.
That was an essential digression.
That was an essential.
Oh, great bitches! Please explain this timely and topical issue to us, your baffled followers. They're in the dark. We need to help them. We must lead them into the light.
Our people need us.
I keep seeing ads for the Experian Boost. Big scare quotes. Experian Boost. Things where Experian is claiming to boost your credit score instantly, but it doesn't give many details. How exactly does this work? Could it provide any benefit to people with pretty good credit, or is it just for people whose credit isn't so great? Does it actually provide any benefit for anyone? It sounds too good to be true, and everyone says it sounds too good to be true. It's probably a scam. So please enlighten me.
Your instincts are right.
We love that. This is something I think we try to cultivate a lot in our
the skepticism.
in our readers / listeners / mindless consumers.
In Bitch Nation, in Citizens.
We're
of
mindless
Bitch Nation.
producers.
Yes. Exactly.
So yes, we love your skepticism, and it's correct.
It's
I
correct.
think. So
I mean, any
credit scores have existed since
1937.
80.
I was guessing.
Lauren's closer. I'll double check.
Thank
Ducky's
you. Ducky is
fact-checking.
double checking. I believe it's the
Thank you.
late 70s or early 80s. So
Yes. But they are
but
a
it is not the
classist-
fucking 1930s.
They are a classist
They are a
institution.
very, very recent invention.
And they are a classist institution.
And they are
we
not
hate them.
well legislated.
But unfortunately, like with the current system as it is, you have to have a decent credit score to do pretty much anything. So I want to pinpoint something in the question. They were like, if you have a pretty good credit score, is it worth using this? And the answer is no. Like, if you have a pretty good credit score and you're trying to like bump it up a little bit, like you're better off like doing that naturally.
If you are, say, trying to buy a home and your credit score is like 800 and you really want to try to get it to the 810, 815 zone,
You're fine.
You're
fine.
good.
Calm down.
You are totally fine.
1989.
1989. Oh,
yeah, I knew
wow.
it was within
Jesus,
our lifetimes,
We are older than credit
and
scores.
we are not young.
We are older than the credit score. Wow,
We are
that is
older
interesting.
than sin, older than dirt.
It's interesting to me that the credit score came about only after women had the legal right to take out credit in their names without a male cosigner.
When I wanted to get a credit card, I did bring my husband along, and I said, he puts his dick in me. He puts it in so right, like 11 out of 10, really good. So do you have any questions for him? And then he batted. He has, being a boy, he has these like very long dark lashes.
It's not fair.
It's so unfair,
It's
and
very
like
unfair.
not a pore in sight. It's fucked up. It's
Yeah.
so rude.
His eyes are huge and blue and gorgeous.
But then I gesticulated at him.
Yes, that is. The correct
And
answer.
all the credit wenches in the credit tavern said,
Ooh.
Faith and Begarn.
Faith in the garden.
We've got to give this lassie.
Yeah.
Are we in
Where are we?
Scotland, Ireland? I am not sure.
Yeah.
But we must give this lassie her great credit score, and that's how I got a great
Because
credit
she's
score.
attached to a man.
Everyone, just do that. What I just described, do that. I don't
Find yourself
understand.
a cisgender man.
If I can do it, anyone can do
Anyone,
it.
listen. The
If
trick
I
to getting
can
rich
do
is
it.
just find yourself a cisgender man, legally
With very long
contractually
eyelashes,
bind
with
yourself-
very long
with
eyelashes
very-
and excellent skin.
and a great dick. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, happy St. Patty's Day indeed. And just contractually bind yourself to him and you'll be good. But no, the Experian boost, right. This is gonna sound, I don't know if this is helpful or not, but if you are in need of raising your credit score, there are a number of services you can pay to help you do that.
Yeah.
But I don't actually
think that.
know. I don't think that
okay,
they
so
work.
a lot of these, my understanding is, and I am shitting out of my butthole here.
Yeah, full on.
To use a technical term, but I believe that these companies are just doing a better job at doing what they already do. So they're basically giving you guarantees like, oh, if there are mistakes on your credit report,
Oh, we'll just take care of those for you.
I'll take care of those, madam. Don't you worry. You give me $35 a month or whatever.
But
the
you can
fuck
also do that
ridiculous
yourself.
rates they're
You
charging.
can also do that, and maybe this is something that we should write a long form article about. Is like ways that you yourself, if you have the time, can go through and for free can audit your credit report and contest various mistakes and whatever.
Basically, you don't want mistakes on there. If someone has stolen your identity,
Yes.
like for example, if you stole my identity,
Already done it.
which you've done 14 times.
Every time.
But I think this time we're going to turn things around.
Are you gonna steal mine?
Why would I want that?
Oh, burn! You bitch!
I love you. You probably have a credit score higher than mine.
It's actually probably true.
So a lot of these companies, they're basically...
Hold on really quick. Happy St. Patty's Day. Donate to Native American causes like a proper Irish person. Hey, this is little known fact. The American Indian movement and the Irish movement for independence, they are very closely related, and those two activist groups support each other. So I just want to give a shout out to everyone in the American Indian movement and everyone for Irish independence from England. Those are wonderful causes.
I wonder if the fully grown adults we've seen this weekend dressed as leprechauns are aware of all the sociopolitical ramifications.
They have no idea.
Of their garb, their festive appropriative.
Oh,
garb.
yeah, exactly.
Stop appropriating leprechaun
Stop
culture.
appropriating.
It's not for you.
In related news, I watched The Banshees of Inisherin recently.
How was
and
it?
I want a mini
Was
donkey.
Was it good or was it pretentious? That's my main
was
fear.
good. It
Is
was
that the
good.
people who've said it is good, I'm like, I trust you, but also you personally are a very pretentious person.
My husband laughed his ass off.
Okay, it bear laughed then.
And I
I'll
wanted
go
to
for
cry. It made me want to cry and get a mini donkey.
Everyone should have a mini donkey. I have a list of life goals that I share with my partner.
Own a mini donkey?
I just want you to read. This is guys, this is happening
I'm gonna
live.
give a dramatic. I'm gonna give a dramatic.
Life goals. What's the top one?
Call a donkey our friend.
Call a donkey our friend.
Wait.
Also, I want you to read this one, which is checked off, completed.
Interview Chris Dane Owens.
Checked off, guys. Okay, what was I talking about?
We're moving on to the next question. Jackie, what's the next question?
I texted it to you.
Okay,
Wait,
good.
did we finish it?
I think. Oh, yeah, we were talking about the credit scores. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Don't worry about
So
the
they're
experiment
basically
news.
charging you a premium to do what they already do, but do it better.
Yeah.
Which I wish is a gambit I could figure out how to do in the workplace.
Yeah.
You're paying me to do the job of like a systems analyst, but what if I blackmailed you for more money?
Yeah. What if
And
I
say
just,
I'm
like,
gonna make fewer errors as a systems analyst if you pay me 20% more. Like,
Yeah.
fuck that. It is their job. There's nothing that they're doing as part of that premium service that isn't something that you could do on your own. So if you need a really quick boost to your credit, people get like pissed when I say this, but it is true. If you need a quick boost to your credit, here's what you do. You call up the people who you already have existing lines of credit with, and you say, I'd like to increase my line of credit. I've been a loyal customer for X number of years, and I'm thinking about buying a home or changing jobs or moving abroad, and
I just got a raise.
I'd like a higher line of credit. S'il vous plaît, por favore, and then do this, and they will do it for you in
Speaking
like
of cultural
9 times out of 10.
appropriation, Jesus.
That's just cultural representation.
Anyway, the point is, if you raise the amount of credit you have accessible to your name,
Then your utilization ratio
goes down.
Yes, and that is statistically, so of the pie graph that comprises your whole credit score, that is your biggest slice, is your
Yes.
credit utilization. If you have $10,000 in credit and you're using 9,990 of those dollars, your utilization ratio kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But if you call and say, can you make that $10,000 $20,000? It's now significantly better. And that's the easiest
Boom.
way. If you're like shopping for a home or getting a new car or something where you want a pretty instantaneous boost in your credit score, that's kind of the way to go.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
don't pay somebody else money to boost your credit score. You can do it on your own.
Yeah, fuck that garbage.
Fuck it.
They are leeches upon
Yeah,
the system.
next
Don't do
question.
it.
Next
Okay.
question. It was the... Oh, how do I marry rich? Pros and cons of marrying rich. Yeah, would love to hear the cons since it's like my dream and I should tamp that down. Okay, so funny story. We both married poor men.
Yep.
And suddenly, overnight...
A non-profit
administrator.
do-gooder
Yeah.
and an actor
These
are our partners.
those are the men we chose to marry. We should have married women. What were we thinking?
We should
We
if
should
we
have
had
married each
married each other.
Oh.
Oh my.
Think how fucking rich we'd be.
Okay, not to say that my beautiful boy's hair isn't fun to stroke, but yours is really glossy and rich, and like I miss woman hair. I'm like, this is
and
it.
I have
This
the
is-
most woman hair.
You have extra woman hair.
I do have extra woman
Your
hair.
woman hair quotient is off the charts.
It's just so woman hair.
Okay, so
Yeah, so marrying rich. I think what you have to do, like, I mean, what we did is we found really poor men with great potential.
yeah, find closeted rich men.
Yeah, find rich men before they're rich. And find a really nice guy that you can, like, mentor into becoming rich and marry him. And then he'll be like, oh my God, she really loves me. And when I say men, I also mean women and non-binary folks.
Also,
Anyone can
if
be
you're
a
on the
rich spouse.
fence, marry women.
Yeah,
Absolutely marry
if
women.
you're at all, like, considering...
If there are any indecisive buys out there who are like, how I choose.
Just
Marry the woman.
Just marry the woman. Like, there's not enough lesbian marriages out there.
I have
This needs to be
married
more.
the world's most
You married the-
feminine.
You married
no,
the
no,
best
no,
wife.
not the world's most feminine.
You married the
I've
world's
married
most
the perfect
man
wife who is a
You
man.
married the
and
most wife.
He makes every day better. He makes my whole life easier. It's amazing. So, at the end of the day, and I'm only saying this because
Marry Asian
marry
girls.
Asian girls.
I mean, marry all girls.
Just marry girls.
Just marry girls.
Like, women are incredible.
Yeah,
Sorry. I'm so sexist against men because I have had beers and have met them.
Yes.
Okay, so
Marrying rich. That was the question. Marry rich.
if you are thinking about being with someone because they are financially stable, I think that has short-term gains and long-term losses, because ultimately someone who is wealthy, our culture trains us to subconsciously or consciously ascribe really positive traits to that person, where it's like if he has money, he must be stable. He must be good at his job.
He could be a sociopath.
He must be hardworking.
Not true.
And boy, the number of people who I have heard describe, say, like having a child with a partner who is the high earner, kind of it's a very common dynamic, unfortunately, for the high earner to kind of come home and they're like, I worked today and you just stayed home and hung out with the baby. So, like, my life is so hard and I need to relax while you cater to everything that I do.
Yeah, not cool.
While I just like
Yes.
Absolutely. I just want to give you all like a preview of like so my partner, when he and I got together, he made about $20,000 to $30,000, maybe $30,000 in a good year. And he was very recently laid off, R.I.P. But
he was laid off from a six-figure
But before
job.
he was laid off, he was making $140,000 a year, and he was making $140,000 a year for like two reasons: because of him and because of me. I helped him out because we have very complementary personalities. He's an introvert and I'm an extrovert. He is very emotional and I'm very logical.
He is very genuinely.
We really are like,
I love
we
your
are.
husband.
I love him too. He loves you too.
Yeah.
Like we are absolutely the kind of couple that's like, we are the opposites of each other. Oh, but look how perfectly we kind of lock into each other's skill set. Do not let the income of the person that you're dating, especially when like you're in your 20s and your 30s, influence you. Do you know how many like amazing
relationships just fall apart?
Yeah, like
also Julian and Kirsten Saunders of Rich and Regular. If you haven't checked out their blog. But Julian, apparently, like, they broke up early in their relationship
a little bit
because Julian was like, "Wait, you have debt? I never would have started dating you if I'd known that you had debt." And Kirsten,
but like a lot of debt.
But like a lot of, and Kirsten was like, "Excuse me?" And she, like, they got back together, obviously, and today, you know, they're married and they're very wealthy and they're raising a beautiful boy, but like. That was like a huge deal for them to get over early in the relationship, because Julian was the one who was started down the path of financial independence, whereas Kirsten just like she didn't consider it important yet.
Yeah.
But like they're wonderful together. Like they are so in love, and you can see it as soon as you meet them. But like imagine if they had really let that, you know, drive them apart instead of, you know,
how different would
how different
their
they're
lives
both, and
be.
and
Yeah.
I feel like if you do get into a relationship where one of you is in debt or like really struggling financially, and you decide like, oh well, that's gonna break us up, rather than being like, oh well, this is a chance for growth, and like, let's work on this together. Like,
I have a whole new idea.
Okay, new idea.
I have a whole new fucking idea about this. Are you ready? I'm piloting it for the 4 people who are here, one of whom is probably my husband.
Oh, 11.
So, I think you should have someone, hopefully multiple people in your life, who are radically honest about money. It doesn't matter if they have a lot of it. And it doesn't matter if you're in like a romantic partnership or not, because you and I
are very romantical.
Are in an extremely romantic friendship that is
and business partnership.
Yes. Like we have
strong wife energy.
We are people who can say things to each other like, I was invited to be a friend's maid of honor and I really want to say yes, but I also think that her expectation is that I'm going to throw an amazing party for her and travel a bunch and buy an expensive dress and get
Boston
nice
marriage.
gowns, and it's like
isn't
really
Boston
fucking
marriage what they used to call like a closeted gay marriage? Yes, we're a Boston marriage.
We're not a Boston marriage. We're a Boston same-sex partnership. Get it right.
True. It's true. We even met in Boston. Look at that.
I know. We're really like on track in our lives.
She thought
but
I was
like
too
you
cool to be
need
her
to
friend.
have people in your life who are going to talk to you honestly about money, and that includes talking about like what their values are. Now it's very likely, I would say, that 2 people would talk to each other as friends or lovers or whatever and say that we are, based on what we want in our lives, we maybe need to be making more money, so let's strategize ways to do that.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you that like 50% of the people that we know who are in the FIRE movement have actually retired on very little and have basically stopped working, and they kind of maintain their standard of living at maybe only slightly above what I think most people would consider poverty wages, because fundamentally they have thought long and hard and talked extensively with their friends and partners about what money means to them.
Yeah.
What matters to them. You do not need a rich partner. What you need is, if you're dating someone, they need to be on the same page with you about what is the purpose of money.
You have to share your dream. You have to share your values and what you want out of this life.
Do you remember the episode of Dexter?
That is exactly what I was thinking about.
Where Dexter naps a married couple.
And he was like, and they're like,
and
on
they're
the
both
killing
serial
table,
killers.
and they're both serial killers.
Yeah.
Who just like, I'm having troubles with my girlfriend. Like,
and
what
they,
are you?
And they, as they know they're about to die, they are like gripping each other's hands. Give me yours.
Oh yeah,
come on. And they're like, and Dexter's like, what do you guys want? And they're like, you gotta want the same thing.
You gotta want the same
things.
Yeah.
We want the same things.
You just want the same thing.
They want the same kind of life. They value the same kinds of things. And if your values are concurrent, you do not need to have the same amount of money. I can share values with someone whose net worth is $500. I can share values with someone whose net worth is $5 million. And that's really how it works.
Dexter the Killer Show, not the cartoon.
Sorry, this is
good.
Dexter the live action.
Darkly Dreaming Dexter.
Not.
Starring Michael C. Hall.
Not the one where
the Cartoon Network, like Lab Dexter.
Yes, no Sister Dee Dee. No song where it's like next to do re mi fa so, which I can sing all of. And if you become a Patreon at the highest tier,
$50 billion?
I will sing you any Dexter's Lab original content that you like. I will say
real quick though, we just had somebody in the chat say I can't share values with somebody who has 50 billion, and I would agree with that.
Isn't that the Jeff Bezos divorce like perfectly?
Yes.
Like the second this hoe got divorced from him, she was like, I'm giving out all of my money.
Mackenzie Scott was just like, fuck you, I'm giving it away to worthy causes.
I can't be with a man who thinks that it's okay to hoard this level of wealth.
Oh, will I floss on camera? Hell yes, I'll floss on camera.
Whoa. Don't sell yourself cheaply.
It said if a Patreon does it.
Flossing is like third base on the internet.
Okay, well, donate $100 a month and I'll floss on camera. Mackenzie Scott is goals. But really quick, it's not because having $50 billion means you're a bad person. It's because to make $50 billion, you have
can't
to
get there without
you can't get there in an ethical
exploiting
way.
others. Yeah.
So if you can't exploit people to make $50 billion, well, there you go. So just if you have somebody rich that you're considering getting in bed with,
and
just make sure they made their money marginally ethically. This is capitalism.
And I think you'll agree with this, having married someone who has been very high earning and has been very low earning, no matter what, like what you both want out of life has stayed the same, and maybe the scope of that has changed a little bit. Your partner loves fishing and likes having a shitty little boat, and now that you're both making a good amount of money,
fucking boat.
He's like, how about instead of this shitty little boat, could we have this boat? And you know what?
No more boats.
That is, though, goals. That is like someone who that is like, I think you and I both ended up married to people who if we were living in zombie apocalypse times and money was like no mas, like it doesn't matter anymore, our values would be concurrent. And money is honestly just kind of a convenient way to talk about values.
And I honestly, I married Bear because in the zombie apocalypse, he is the one who's surviving, and I'm going to survive by sticking very close to him. That's all I see in him.
And I'm thriving because look at this zit.
Don't show the people this.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, bitches. I just sent an ask a week or two ago about how to tolerate waiting to hear good career news. Oh my God. Grad school acceptance.
Grad school.
All right, we're on a theme here. While hating being a teacher. But guess what? I got rejected. No! This is not the update we wanted. It's not the end of the world, but I'm just impatient to get new training and move the fuck on. And it sucks that the most convenient, financially advantageous, personally satisfying program is now not an option. And I have to figure out a whole ass plan C.
I'm sorry.
Any words of encouragement for gals who feel a little trapped and a lot surprised after a setback after years of not so satisfying career?
Do your hair toss. Check your nails.
Oh, mine are so chipped. I did them yesterday and they're still chipped as shit.
Honey, how you feeling?
You're on notice. This is what it looks like after 24 hours, Opie. Get on Essie's level. Continue.
How you feeling? Feeling good as hell yet? Probably not. It's okay to wallow and be unhappy for a little bit. I mean, this really sucks. It really fucking sucks. But give yourself the time to wallow. Give yourself the time to feel shitty. Practice some self-care. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb and do a little horror movie marathon. That's what I like to do. Maybe take a bath with the fancy bath salts.
Fancy.
And then in the morning.
That shit you get from Florida fucks your brain up. Get those bath salts.
No, but do some self-care. And then, after a couple of days, maybe on the weekend, regroup and try again.
Yeah.
Come up with a new plan. Try again. But you need to give yourself time to experience that rejection. I don't feel like people who can just take a rejection and then move on with their lives. I don't feel like that's necessarily healthy. I think you need to give yourself a moment to process that defeat.
So, this is interesting because...
Ooh, do you disagree? Are we having a bitch disagreement?
You know that my partner's first career
Acting
was as an actor.
Highly paid actor.
Where rejection is completely normal.
Constant.
He might go to 10 auditions and get one callback. He might go to 10 callbacks and end up cast in one role from all those callbacks. And they are trained not to take it personally. It's not about if I had said this line in the monologue up and this line down, then maybe I would have, that kind of thinking is so counterproductive to them. Instead, he was taught, maybe I was the same height as the female lead and they really wanted a taller guy. Maybe I had facial features that are really similar. He was Cassis Paris in
Romeo and Juliet. And I saw that production and it was
and
wonderful.
It was great.
It was
he
wonderful.
was so good. Like maybe he looks too much like Romeo, and they're concerned that a crowd at a distance is gonna have a hard time like judging them apart. Yeah. Maybe they maybe they just had a different image in mind of like the kind of character, or as like a minority option, maybe his monologue wasn't very good and he needed to work on it more. Maybe his audition wasn't great. The stuff that's in his control.
Sure.
It's not impossible that that's why.
Yeah.
But I have learned so much from him because I'm someone who has ADHD.
What? No.
And one of the symptoms of ADHD is an increased sensitivity to rejection. Quit poking things. Now I can't read shit.
Bear does know how to split wood. Yes, I will say that.
People who have ADHD and other kind of like neuroatypical or neurological issues, sometimes we are more receptive when we get a rejection. We're like, oh, so you hate me and you wish I was dead? and it's not helpful. And for me, it's been so helpful to be around a partner who has learned, not just learned, but been trained
to not take it personally.
Don't take it personally. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them and what their vision is, and you have no idea what it is, and you cannot twist yourself into a pretzel every single time to try to get it right. True. So, rejection, hurting, I absolutely understand, and I feel for you, and when something in your mind is perfect for you, it's so hard to let go of because you're like, I want to explain to you like why you're wrong. Yeah. Clearly you should have chosen me.
You should choose me.
But it is
words to live by.
If they didn't pick you, then they weren't what you thought they were. Yeah. That's just the reality of it. And you can't bargain your way around that, and it's okay. The fact that not every person who meets you wants to be your best friend. Not every person who meets you wants to date you. Not every company that you work with wants to take you on as a star employee. And that is completely fine.
It's okay. And it sucks to feel that way, but you
can't know what it's like. So many. Do you know the number of dream jobs that people have been like, so I'm on the edge of utter insanity because I got my dream job and it turns out that it's fucking terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
All
the time. All the time. Personal experience included. Okay, really quick. We need to wrap this up because we have approached the hour-and-a-half mark, but I just want to say something. So there was a question in the chat asking if Mr. Kitty had a fun animal name, and because Bear, my husband, has a fun animal name, and I just want to say my husband's literal real life nickname is Bear. Yeah. Our nieces and nephew. It's not a bit.
He looks like if a grizzly bear got a light shave in a few spots.
Yeah, just a light shave. That's my husband. He also has a bear tattoo.
Hairy
and all of our nieces and nephews call him Uncle Bear. So he's literally Bear. Mr. Kitty, on the other hand,
Mr. Kitty's Terry. I'm sorry. His name is Terry, and he's just Terry. And when I want something from him, and I'm on the podcast, and Ducky's editing it down, I'm like, Terry, can you bring me a USB hub?
Turns into, you know that song, the Santa Baby. That is her voice. Anytime she's talking to her,
I'm like, all of you go to hell. Shut the fuck up. I don't give a shit about you. I hope you die in a gutter. Terry. My coffee's only halfway full. Would you pretty put
I think that song might be Eartha Kitt. I don't know. It's Eartha Kitt. It is Eartha Kitt. Okay. Which fucking boss ass bitch Eartha Kitt. But yes, this boss ass bitch turns into Eartha Kitt singing Santa Baby when she's talking to
guys. If you are making $20,000 to $30,000 a year and you would like to turn it into $140,000, the solution is date me. And when I say you can't handle me, get the
fuck away from me.
to say, I think your the way that you terrorize the human population of everyone around you is really cute. And personally, I like your wide nose and your buck teeth, and then I'm like, oh shit, I don't have any defense against this. So just get married.
Yeah, get married.
If you are not making very much money, just get married to me. I'm an ENFP.
Or just
I'm
be
an
related
ENTJ.
to me
I'm
and
an
move
ENTJ,
into my
sorry.
basement, my newly finished basement. You'll have your own bathroom.
As an ENTJ, my love language is
INTJ,
perfecting
everyone.
your resume.
Ooh. Wait, am I an INTJ?
You're an INTJ. You're a hard INTJ. Ducky, we're going to have to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
No, I'm an ENTJ with an INFP. You will notice there is not many letters in common there. The INFP is like, oh no, the tractor's going to run over this dandelion. I can't allow this to happen.
Oh,
and the ENTJ is like, tractor, full steam ahead. But sometimes we fall in love, and it's so cute. I love you, baby.
It's very cute.
He's watching because he's like, I want to get your numbers up.
Yeah. Oh, is Chad in the chat?
Chad,
Oh, we love Chad.
get out of here, you Chad.
Yeah,
I love a Chad.
All right, but seriously, bitch nation, bitchlings, we love you so much.
Yeah.
We love you
too.
so much. Oh my god.
my God.
Chad,
Chad!
it is Chad. Hi, baby. We love you so much. Everybody give it up for Ducky.
Oh my God.
She
Wait,
made this happen.
hold
her
on.
baby, look. She's
Wave bigger, like really big.
there.
Like, yeah.
It is.
Now people will know we're not lying. Also, can I just pivot the camera for just a hot second? We are in a hotel room.
Oh yeah, take them on a tour.
With an incredibly disturbing chair.
Okay.
Please, yeah.
Oh no.
Shh, hold on, we're here. She just dropped something very expensive. Don't worry about it. Okay.
Okay.
Hold on. I just want you all to know that, okay, so we've had a chair that the computer is resting on. And here's the back of the chair.
Look at him.
I need
his works ye mighty and despair.
I need to watch this when I sleep. So how well do you think I'm going to sleep tonight? Please rate that on a scale of 1 to 10.
I'll protect you.
We are literally sleeping in a bed together. So
We are. This
yeah,
is our bed we're sitting on. We're gonna sleep together tonight, and we're gonna think of you all.
We're gonna cuddle.
It's
We're gonna
be so
snuggle.
cuddly. We're gonna get so snuggle.
And is this 0 out of 10?
Wait, 0 out of 10. Excuse me.
Does this count as queer
Captain
baiting?
Crunch is a nutcracker. This does not count as queer baiting.
Okay, guys, don't worry. An experienced and definitive source has told me that this is not queer baiting. The two of us sleeping in this bed together,
No.
being the most intimate and honest of work wives together,
Yes.
is not queer baiting. And
not
you know
queer
why?
baiting.
It's because no hanky.
No hanky
No.
panky.
No, sir.
He will protect our virtue.
Oh my
He will defend our virtue.
Oh,
All right. Thank you all.
We've had enough.
out?
We love you.
Yeah, we love you. Mwah.
Bitches,
Bitches out.